flows to.
Cool.
So welcome to the CrossFit Canada podcast, the place for Canadian affiliate owners and coaches to share stories. And I have my Open t-shirt on for the 2026 Open because I'm currently in the presence of greatness as we have Meg Apostoleris, as I just got the pronunciation right. Currently the leader for open signups in Canada as we're recording this.
Yeah, I think we're at 73 right now. Oh, 72 right now.
Still at 72, I think. I've got the leaderboard out in front of me, and to be ahead of Decca is great. So, but in the meantime, Meg, introduce yourself, your affiliate, where are you guys located, and then we'll just start rolling from there.
Sure. So Megan Apostoleris, I'm the co-owner of CrossFit Renfrew, which is in Elmsdale, Nova Scotia. So that's just outside Halifax. So if you've ever flown into the Halifax airport, you're basically in the neighborhood of where my affiliate is. So if you ever have a long layover, just like we'll come get you. You can come in, bust out a workout. I do have a business partner, but he really likes to stay behind the scenes, which he is like behind officially the scenes over there right now. His name's John Garden, and he, does all the work, and I just basically get to take all the credit, is what I like to say. But so we own the gym together, and we're just like hardcore trying to get open registrants right now.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I mean, a long accolade to you, your list as well, but you're also a CrossFit Games competitor.
Yeah, so I'm like a super OG CrossFit girl. I first discovered CrossFit in like 2004. And like before it was really a thing. I've personally participated in every single Open since the beginning of time. And then just, I ended up kind of accidentally, I guess, qualifying for the games in 2023 at 40 to 44. And I got to go in 2023 when it was still everyone together in Madison, and it was amazing. And I got to go in 2024 and 2025, and hopefully, like the plan, I'm going to try really hard to go again this year and just see what happens.
Kudos to being humble, but I've done 15 Opens and I haven't accidentally stumbled into the CrossFit Games. I mean, I just hit I guess when they expanded the Masters to 35, but it's still but I do love hearing origin stories. So before we get into open signups and all that stuff, 2004 you said. So what were you doing with your life then, and how did you fall into CrossFit?
So it's interesting, and I'm still friends with this person now, but in 2004, I was just finished university and I was working at a gym, like a Globo style gym, Good Life. But in Nova Scotia back in the day, it was a separate chain of gyms called New Bodies Fitness. Good Life bought them. But anyway, I was working there I was selling memberships, and one of the personal trainers there, named Brad, he ran these really fun boot camps, and they were like, he'd be like, we're going to do, 100 burpees, just like a CrossFit. And I remember asking him, where do you get your ideas for your boot camps? And he's like, I get them from this website called CrossFit.com. So that was when I first kind of heard the words CrossFit. I didn't really think too much of it. And then fast forward in 2006, I got accepted into the RCMP. I was a police officer for many years, and I continued just like doing my normal fitness routines, which were basically go to the gym, do some cardio, do some weights. And this one day I was at a gym. This is like now fast forward a few years, like 2007, 2008. And I saw this guy at this mainstream gym doing what I now know are kipping pull-ups. And for whatever reason, I like associated that with the word CrossFit. So for whatever reason, I got home and I Googled, and I was in Alberta at the time, Edmonton. I Googled CrossFit Edmonton, and a couple gyms popped up. This was like in 2008. And one of them, I had no idea like which was which or whatever. One of them popped up that was close by my house. It was called CrossFit Lineage, which has now been bought by another CrossFit, like, you know, it's old now, but it was called CrossFit Lineage. I messaged them and they said they had a foundations program starting up right away. And it was for 6 weeks, 3 times a week. And I was like, cool, sounds good. So anyway, I like put it in the GPS, driving there. Like, I think I'm going to like a good lifestyle gym. Like, I know nothing about like what these types of gyms were like at the time.
Yeah.
And it's like taking me to this like industrial area. And like, I'm like, what is this place? And so anyway, I get to the door. It's just like a man door, but there's like garage doors. I peek in. It looks, you know, similar to my gym here. And no one's in there except for the coach. And I was like, hey, like, I'm here for the foundations program. And they're like, cool, like, you're the only one. And I'm like, okay, like, can I, and it was expensive, or I thought it was at the time. I was like, can I do like the first class before paying? And the instructor's name was Cam. He was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So we start going over the fundamental movements, like the squat and the deadlift. And then at the end, the tail end of the class, we were going to do a workout. And the workout was Fight Gone Bad. And I was like, right on, but can you jump in with me? Like, I can't just do this alone with you watching. And Cam was like, sure, why not? So we did Fight Gone Bad. And basically from that moment, I was like, this is amazing. I want to do this forever. I thought I was fit before, you know, I was a cop, I was a hockey player. I did all the things, and it was very humbling, but also just gave me a really good feeling. And shortly after that, that was in the month of like a September. A few months after, I was transferred to Ottawa for work. And like, before I even knew what was happening, I was like Googling, where am I going to go in Ottawa to train? And then I moved to Ottawa, and I basically was there from 2010 until 2021. And I really grew as the sport did. So when I got to Ottawa, there was no CrossFit gyms. There was one small one across the river in Gatineau called Luzin CrossFit.
Yeah.
It was tiny. I used to drive like super far to go there. And then little by little, like, as you know, the sport started like exploding in 2012, 2013, and gyms were popping up all over the place. So just depending on where that was happening, like, I switched a few times gyms in Ottawa, and then I ended up in Nova Scotia and bought my own.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And so, did you and John start out together as a partnership, or yeah, you're nodding immediately, or yes? Yeah, so
we did. So like this gym, which was called Renfrew Strength and Conditioning, it looked very different than it does right now. And it wasn't in this building, but it already existed in this area. And it was more of a powerlifting, strongman, and just like open gym space. Sure. And I moved to this area, and I started coming here to train. And there was a couple guys here doing some CrossFit on their own. John also went to this gym. He's very involved with the sport of Olympic weightlifting in Nova Scotia. Okay. So I ran into him a few times there. I also am very involved with the sport of weightlifting in Nova Scotia as well. I compete in both sports. So that's kind of where I met John. And when I had first walked into the Renfrew gym, I was like, this place needs to be a CrossFit affiliate. It's in a very, a community that's growing quickly. Like, it's just outside of Halifax, and it's like a suburb of Halifax. So a lot of people are moving here, and lots of development, and there was no CrossFit gyms here. And I just kind of saw an opportunity, and it kind of just happened at the right time, where the owners of the gym at the time didn't, I guess, feel like they could give it the time that they really needed to grow it. And it needed to grow because of just like the increasing of rent and things like that. So John and I just sort of crossed paths loosely a few times through weightlifting. And then I just casually, as a joke, was like, man, we should just buy Renfrew and make it a CrossFit affiliate. Ha ha ha. And like, I was kind of serious, and I was sort of saying it to him as a joke. And as he does, he often takes in a lot of information and then doesn't speak until he has a thoughtful answer. Which is the complete opposite of me. But anyway, he went away for 3 or 4 weeks, and then came back, and he's like, hey, you know that idea you had about you know, doing a CrossFit gym? He's like, I think we should do it. And then it was on kind of right after that.
Yeah, they say like a frog and a toad, like a frog jumps first, then looks, and a toad looks first, then jumps. It sounds like it's kind of you guys together there. No, that's awesome. So, I think a story that a lot of folks would resonate with, but then so it's like he clearly did the research, you brought the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
What were those early days like where it was like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're doing this." Like, because it's probably close enough to remember like what your
Oh
first
yeah.
week or month of classes were like, and
Yeah, it was crazy because I think this is why young people tend to do things that older people think are crazy. I think you do need like a little bit of like naive to kind of do something, and I think I had that a little bit. Like I knew that this area could support a CrossFit gym, but in my brain I was like, oh yeah, we'll just call it CrossFit and then everyone's just going to come.
sure.
Um,
Yeah.
because I'm like obsessed with CrossFit and like always will be. So I'm just like, they're gonna see CrossFit and just all of a sudden be flocking. So it wasn't really the case. It kind of feels like that now, just because it's happening now a bit. Like it's a snowball
Yeah.
effect. Like the more people come, the more people come. But at first, we would have classes of like no one. And so, but we made a decision together that we wanted everything always to be very high quality. So even when we first put classes on the schedule, if no one was signed up, we would coach each other. Like we would do the
Oh,
class,
cool.
like we would, yeah. And like we wanted to have all of our systems like dialed in and in place. Like we really wanted, like all our workouts, like I don't know if you can see back there, like all of our workouts are on a screen. Like that was from day one. We wanted like our program to be really, like we wanted everything to be really high quality first, and then for it to grow slowly. But I thought it was going to grow a little bit quicker. I think it did grow quick. I'm just
Yeah.
not super patient, obviously. But like, yeah, so, classes started out super small. A lot of times, like at the beginning, classes wouldn't run because there'd be no one in them except for John and I, and our coaches. Like we had 3 guys that were training at Renfrew before I even was involved, and all 3 of them are now coaches. They're all level 1s. They're all going to become level 2s. In a week, we're hosting a level 2. They're all
Oh,
on
cool.
it.
Yeah.
So they're very invested in the community. So that was extremely helpful. We kind of always felt like we had like that core group, and they were pumped. Like they were kind of like, oh man, like this is CrossFit. This is awesome. Like, so yeah, the classes started off really small, and then like little by little, like a member would join, and then they would tell their friend, and then they would tell their friends, and then eventually our classes had like 5, and for us that was huge. Like we started from 0 CrossFit members. We had members, they were open gym only.
Sure.
So
Okay.
we were paying the bills like with that, which was awesome, and we needed that. But we had 0 CrossFit members.
Yeah.
And now we have 100-ish, which is actually kind of cool because our open signups are like 72 and we only have 100 members. So like it's a very high percentage. Yeah. So yeah, classes just kind of grew little by little. And then eventually, due to like some unforeseen circumstances, we had to move locations, which was, we moved very close, like in the same business park, but it was a panic because we were sort of like unexpectedly evicted. And we ended up buying a building. So now this building that we are in now is ours. So that was amazing. And now it's like snowballing. Like our classes right now, we have a class cap of 20 on them, and they're always waitlisted. Like I'm always having to modify the programming to accommodate our space and our layout because, as I said earlier, I'm very particular about the class experience being high quality, coached really well, never feeling chaotic. So I think for probably all business owners, a lot of affiliate owners, it's on my mind all the time. Like it's just, it's never ending, and it's so hard, but so rewarding.
No, and that's, one of my kind of favorite, it's not necessarily a saying, but a thought is like overnight success takes a lifetime. And
Yeah.
it hasn't been a lifetime for you guys, but as you said, like right from the beginning, like you weren't going to wait until you had 20 people to like sort out your classes, right?
No.
Like, you weren't waiting to be in the right space to make your space what it was. And then all these sort of dominoes have fallen into place, and then now you're just getting the result of putting those, the systems, and that's even sometimes overused in our space, but like putting the systems in place and making those things happen.
Yeah.
So I do want to backtrack a little bit, because like curious of the timeline. So when did you get your level 1 then? You were already training, you were doing fitness, then you moved to Ottawa, but when did you get your level 1?
So it's kind of interesting. I always tell people, I sort of started CrossFit at an affiliate training in 2008. I didn't get my level 1 until 2018. So like 10 years in.
Sure.
And I don't know why that was, like just life, I guess. But I remember taking my level 1. I took it at CrossFit Coliseum in Toronto.
Sure.
And
everyone almost.
And it, like, I remember, because I was already 10 years into CrossFit and like pretty good at it at that point. Like 2017 was like 2018 was like the turning point for me in terms of like, I stepped it up a notch, because I was like, oh, I'm decent at this. Like maybe I could, whatever, like do extra stuff besides just the classes. And so, I took my level 1 in 2018. And after the level 1, it completely, not that I needed like re-energizing, but it just like made me fall in love with CrossFit all over again. And I loved the level 1. Like, I just think CrossFit does an excellent job of training. Like their courses are just very dialed in. Like I'm sort of like a type A personality. Like I like things to like run on time. I like things to be very systematic, and there's a way to do things, and this is how we do it. And I've taken a lot of training in my life, in my career, and the CrossFit courses are the best courses I've ever been on. So it really like re-energized me in terms of CrossFit itself, I guess. And right after I got the level 1, I was at a gym in Ottawa. At the time, I started coaching right away, and like I very quickly just really, really liked it. I liked the coaching part of it in terms of the movement, obviously, because CrossFit's all about the movement standards and moving properly. But I think my strengths in coaching is like class management and layout and making sure everything flows really well. Like that's the part that I really, really like. And just making the experience for members and people in the classes awesome. And so I really kind of fell in love with that. And then sort of once I started coaching and getting more invested and more involved in like the affiliates I was coaching in, I was like, man, I'm doing all this for other people. Like I want to do it for myself. And I very quickly started seeing like, oh, like I might do these things different, or these people do this really well. And, and I'm not saying anything, this isn't me saying like anything bad or like negative about the affiliates that I coached in. It's just you start thinking about things differently. But I will say, owning an affiliate made me really reflect on the affiliates that I went to, and just like a whole other level of respect for them, because it's way, way more work than I ever imagined it would be. Not necessarily in a bad way, but like way more work than I ever thought it would be to do it well.
Yeah, like again, another saying is like when someone makes something look really easy, that means it's probably really hard, right? And you get a new respect for like a really well-run affiliate.
Yep.
Because you now know like all the little behind the scenes detail. And it's not that members take it for granted as like an intentional thing, but when they have a class, like over the holidays, I ran a 24 person class.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say it ran really well. And I was almost like, why didn't anyone come up and say how well that ran? Do you know how hard it was to put this all together and have it go? But because it was so easy, everyone's like, oh, I didn't really even notice there was 24 people in.
Or like when I always think, sometimes I have moments like, again, like I'm a very passionate person, and obviously with any extreme kind of personality, there's like blessings and curses. So I'm really happy sometimes, and sometimes I get really pissed like really fast. And sometimes like I'll catch myself being like, man, like how come this member did that or didn't do that, or like how did they not understand all the work that goes in? And then I have moments where I just have to stop and think like it's not their job. Like their job is literally to walk in the door and leave all the crap of their day and come in, and like it's our job at that point to like make them have the best hour of their day, as cliche as that saying is now too. But it's like, and that's what I wanted when I was a member at an affiliate. I love just like walking in and doing my workout and then leaving. Like, it's not your job as a member to have to worry about any of that. And so sometimes I have to catch myself in those moments where I'm like, what the hell? Like, you know, because every single day I have other moments where I'm, you know, so proud of like everyone who walks in, and just, yeah, it's so rewarding. Like, I don't have children and I feel like they're all my children every day. Yeah.
Well, no, and as you said, like, as a passionate person, and I think affiliate owners just naturally draw people who are passionate about it, and everyone expresses their passion a different way. But you do have to sometimes and have those gut check moments to say, like, no, it's not about me. I can be very passionate, but it's not about me. It's about them, and supporting them. And but at the same time, that can also lead people astray, or like where you end up being either overworked or undercharging, or both too.
Yeah, it's a balance all the time. Yeah, for sure.
But it's like, it's cool that you got your level 1 when you did, and the value it brought to you, because you had been training in the CrossFit methodology for, as you said, 10 years.
Yeah.
In a totally different universe, you and John could have just started running a functional training gym out of the strength and conditioning gym and offering functional fitness classes, and, you know, not calling them CrossFit, but
never.
You know what I mean?
I never could. And I've said this a million times, and there's probably quotes of me saying it. Like, I have no interest in owning a gym. I have an interest and desire to own a CrossFit affiliate. And like, you can't ever say never, I guess, because life, but like, I would never want to own a gym if it wasn't a CrossFit affiliate. Like, I believe that the CrossFit methodology is like the best way to stay fit for all levels. And I just think that there is huge power in the global community. And for me, that was the biggest part. Like, I feel like I've transferred around a bit because of my job, and I just feel like I could go anywhere in the world and have immediate friends. Like, my favorite part of traveling is popping into other gyms and immediately just feeling welcomed. And like, it's the same kind of people everywhere. So I'm very passionate about being like 100% diehard CrossFit. And it's definitely a sore spot when people run the open and aren't an affiliate. Like, it really bugs me. Like, it like hurts my heart. Like, I just like want everyone to do CrossFit because I love it so much.
Yeah. But you know, it's like I go on, I always check on like affiliates directory pages, and you guys have a professional directory page on the CrossFit website with staff photos, professional, consistent staff photos, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know that with the name CrossFit comes a responsibility where I'm an affiliate owner, you're an affiliate owner. It's not CrossFit's not the affiliate owner. They give us the opportunity to, but it's our responsibility to make the thing happen.
Yep. Agreed. And I do think it's our responsibility. And I haven't talked about this in a while, but the word responsibility just made me think about it. Like, I feel like it's almost a duty of us as affiliate owners to promote the open, to do the open, to get everybody to sign up for it. Like, I feel like that's like a huge part of our role. And I can't see it any other way. Like, and I never saw it any other way. Like last year, the year before, when things were kind of rough for CrossFit, I guess, like I kind of tried not to even like pay attention to it. Cause for me, it was like last year was our biggest year for signups. This year, we're going to pass it. We're tied now for where we were last year, so we're going to pass it. But I mean, last year we were just like, hell yeah, we're in, like all in last year, especially. Yeah.
And what is that like? How do you notice? I mean, I don't know if you have a base to compare it to in any way, but I always like to tell people, like, you get the energy that you put into it.
Yeah, 100%.
I looked at last year, I saw what Froning and Mayhem did. I was like, these guys are going all in on the open, and look at the promotion and what they're getting, right? Like, you know, I feel like you get what you put into it.
100%. And myself and John, we both love running events and putting on very good quality events. And so anytime, you know, I think they're always, with especially newer members, or just, you know, people in general, are always a little bit like reluctant to sign up for something that they don't know what it is, or it's a little like outside of their comfort zone. But our members now, it's like they basically all started with us from nothing, from no CrossFit. Like, we're their first experience. And I like to think we have them like kind of like trained where, like, when we're putting on an event or we say something is going to be fun and awesome, they really trust us, and they know that if Renfrew is doing it in-house, or we're hosting an event, it's going to be very well run. It's going to be super fun, inclusive, like in the true sense of the word. Like, everyone can have fun doing it. And so whenever we promote an event or just like talk about it, pretty quickly everyone signs up, because I think they trust us, or they have a healthy like fear of more me than John, or like a combination of both. And we also like make really nice t-shirts, and they all want a t-shirt, so we always have t-shirts. But yeah, our members are just like, I mean, we just love them. They're everything, like, because we made like it's just so interesting. Like, they always talk about how Renfrew, our gym, is this like amazing place and an amazing community, and it for sure is. But I'm always trying to get the point across to them, like, this is CrossFit. Like, when you go to other CrossFit gyms, it's the same. Like, I've been to a million of them, and now I'm paying it forward to you. It's not just this gym, it's globally like this, and like, go to other ones and check it out. So for us, and for me especially, it's like the big part of CrossFit is like the global aspect.
Where, when did you guys, like, when was your first year of affiliation? I guess I had you guys pulled up.
So we affiliated in November of 2022 officially. So November 22 is when like we created the affiliate. The gym was around though, like 8 years before that. But yeah, it became a CrossFit affiliate in 2022 November. So our very first open was 2023. We had 8 people registered. We hadn't even run a class yet. So we didn't start classes till after the open of 2023. So the people who did the open with us was like me, a lot of the guys who were like kicking around before, like who are now like our main coaches. John did the open. And then there was a couple other members who did the open with us. Then 2024, I'm just looking at the whiteboard. 2024, we had 50 members sign up for the open. So like a big jump from 2023 to 2024. And we were still in our old space at that time, much smaller, but that was the first year we did like an intramural open, red team, blue team. We had Friday night lights. We had like throwdowns. It was super fun, lots of social media. And then 2025, which was last year, we had 72. We were in our space here now. And we didn't realize it, but like we got 50, we were one of the first 50 affiliates in the world to get 50 signups, and CrossFit HQ sent us a flag for that. So then this year, and then we didn't know, it just happened. And so this year we're like, all right, well, let's go again. Like, I'm super competitive and I'm just all in. So I'm like, let's go guys. Like, this is what we're doing. So I think we were one of the first 50 again this year. So maybe we'll get another flag. I don't know.
Oh, cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to do the numbers that people don't really realize what happens in it behind the scenes, but it does tie together. So you said like you guys are at about 100 CrossFit members currently, give or take.
Yeah.
What, how many people per day roughly do you get coming to classes, like from sun up to sundown? Because I know you said you guys run big classes sometimes.
Yeah, lately it's been crazy. Maybe a bit of the January, like everyone's in, but lately we have like, I'd say on average right now, 3 classes a day. We have like a 6 a.m., either a 7:15 or a noon, and then an evening class. Sometimes we have, well, there's 1 or 2 days where we have 4 classes. So I would say like the average day, what would you say, like 70, John? And 50 to 60 people through the doors a day in class.
Yeah. So like, I don't know if you knew this, but anyone listening or watching, like average is about 30% a day is like average.
So we have a high, we're high.
You guys are like, and usually like 40, 45, like I was Pride our affiliate, like we average about 40 to 45% depending on the season, but like 50% or higher is like usually unheard of.
Yeah.
And so like you guys are in that 50 to 60 to some days 70% daily attendance.
Yeah.
And people are signing up for the open, like you're at 70% open signups.
Yeah.
And it's like you're looking back on 3 years of running the open. It's like you're probably kind of like, well, what do you mean? This is just how we do things.
Yeah.
But the result of the success is based on like what you two put into it, which is amazing.
We put, and like, I'm not saying this at all to, I don't even like the term, like toot my own horn.
Sure.
But like I think both of us in different ways, like we care so much about like everything that we do here and every member. Like, so sometimes when like, I sometimes get a little bitchy. People have started to like, they just know it's because of how much I care. We like, and I'm not like, we like caring this much. Like this is like, we want to, because when people do come, they never leave. Like we have really high retention, and pretty quickly they're telling their friends, and then their friends come and they come to one class and they're like, man, this is the best gym I've ever gone to. Granted, they've never been to a CrossFit gym, so I'm not saying this is the best CrossFit gym in the world, but they come in and they just can't believe like the community. Like we just hosted, we like to host events. So last weekend we hosted, we call it an in-house Oli. It's like we travel around to do these like little in-house weightlifting meets for Weightlifting Nova Scotia. And we were hosting one here at our gym for our members today. Like we were wearing 2 different hats, but last weekend. Anyways, none of them have ever done a weightlifting meet before, but they all signed up. Some people signed up, they'd never even touched, like done a bar, like done a snatch, and they learned that day and then did it. And then you leave and you see them all posting these like, mostly women because they're more verbose, but posting these big like sentimental posts about this event. And like, I remember doing that when I was doing these events at other gyms, and it's just so cool to like, you open your phone and you see like member after member posting these beautiful things. And I just hope they know, maybe they're listening, I hope they know like how touching that is, like, because it makes all those long hours and the hard work, like it makes it worth it so much, because we're changing their lives. Like we are 100% changing their lives. We're making them fitter. People come in their 50s and they're getting fitter, like starting at 50. And like, you know, it's really rewarding. Really rewarding.
No, that's cool. No, it really is. And I mean, it's like, like, yeah, we're on like the CrossFit propaganda podcast.
Oh man.
Here. Like, but you know, I just, and you're probably in the same boat. Like I often can't relate to or don't understand when people try to say that the thing doesn't work.
Well, they're lying.
Well, it's but you know, whether it's, and I don't think we need to go down the road of like, what do I get from my affiliation, but like, it's like you get your effort to put in the opportunity to put the effort into it.
Yes.
And like, it's just, if it's simple, it's not easy. And you know, as Greg says, like when you feel like you've mastered the basics, go back and study them with more detail. And that can just be like the basics of the magic of CrossFit.
And like, and I don't know if this is a topic you want to touch on or not, but like, again, we're a fairly new affiliate. We affiliated in 2022.
Sure.
That was after there was an increase in the fees of the CrossFit affiliate. So like for us, this is just how much it costs. And I mean, it bugs me, I guess, when like, to me, when I look at what CrossFit provides in the affiliate toolkit, and all of the resources are in there, and CAP, we follow CAP for our
Sure.
programming,
Yep.
and love it, actually. We
Yeah.
think it's amazing. Like, to me, like, I don't know what more I would want. Like, there are so many resources that you can use if you want to use them as an affiliate owner, like business-wise, content creation-wise, like programming. Like, it's crazy how much stuff is there, and I truly feel like a lot of affiliate owners like don't know, or they don't go look, and then it's just like this. It's weird. Anyway, we have no problem. Like, I feel like we should have to pay to use the name CrossFit. Like, and I want to. So it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, you're right. And it was certainly, I think we can empathize as business owners, the people who got in
Early
on the ground level at $500 a month.
Yes.
And they got their stuff grandfathered in.
Yes.
But the fault in CrossFit was not raising their rates a lot. It was not raising their rates in all those previous times.
Right. Agreed.
Right? And but you're right, like the tools there are in front of you. And sometimes, you know, I don't know if there's this like thread as affiliate owners who do CrossFit. We're like, well, CrossFit workouts are hard. They should be hard. If it's easy, then it's not a good workout. It's like, do we have that same undertone with our business? It's like, well, it shouldn't be easy. And so I need to make it hard for the sake of being hard. But as you said, like CAP is amazing.
It's amazing.
We're
we love it.
Similar climate. So what's it? Because I do this as well. What are like some adjustments that you make to allow yourselves to facilitate bigger classes without feeling like you're adding 3 extra hours of work for the sake of doing it? Like, how do you find that sweet spot, and what are some examples of things you do?
So, like, how do I modify the programming just to make it flow for large classes? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, without like being like, oh, I map it out like a month in advance and I do all this stuff. Like,
yeah. So like I said, we follow CAP, and we follow it pretty like to the letter. The only thing that we change is at our gym, we always have Thursdays as heavy day, and we always have Saturdays as partner workouts. So sometimes with CAP, they have heavy day on different days. So we'll sometimes like shift around the days of the week, and that's easy. It's just like drag and drop and be on the whiteboard. And then sometimes if I look at a workout and I think, wow, like it's, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. It has like GHG sit-ups or like double unders. Double unders are one that takes a lot of room. You know, you have 20 people in here skipping. We have to either change maybe it to an interval. So it's like you go, I go on an EMOM clock or whatever. But we also, like, we're very, very big on, and so is CAP and CrossFit, on like the intended stimulus of the workout. Yeah. So if it is a workout where the goal is like, as soon as you're done your double unders, you want to go hit a heavy snatch or whatever that's the goal. Yeah. If we had to do it on an interval, we would still try to maintain that in some way. And sometimes you can't always, but we make it work for us. And again, like in life, you can never say never, but I can't ever foresee a time when we won't be following CAP. It's included in your affiliate fee, and to pay for other programming is like a couple $100 a month, and like there's the value of your affiliate fee right there in a year gone, right? So yeah, I mean, sometimes it takes a little extra time, and you know, some affiliate owners, and you know, I can see the desire and like the satisfaction of programming yourself. I think that'd be really fun, but I also think, you know, I just think CAP is really good. But when we first started, CAP, I don't think existed, or maybe it wasn't how it is right now. But for our first couple months, we were following CrossFit Linchpin's affiliate programming, again, because they're super old school. Yeah, I don't think CAP was a thing then, because as soon as CAP came out, we were like, oh, it's included. We're switching to this immediately. And it was at that point purely financial, but super good move. And I'm like, we're very happy with it.
Yeah, it started as Ham Plan.
Yeah,
and it was, and my affiliate, we switched to Ham Plan in 2020, and then wrote it out right through to the end. Yeah, like there's again like this kind of like theme of responsibility, and sometimes like the issue with CrossFit is you can put a workout on the whiteboard it could be Fran, it could be Helen, it could be Grace, it could be any of these. It's like yeah, it's important to run it as it is, but if running the Grace is more important than giving your members a good experience,
Right.
then the value of Grace goes down significantly.
Yeah.
Like it becomes this vehicle. The workouts become a vehicle to do the thing that is CrossFit and make it a member first experience.
And we also found and we've had some members pop into other gyms and they're like, man, like there's so much more coaching in your classes than there are at other classes, other gyms. And, you know, I understand if you're sort of experienced, you just want to come in, bust out a workout and have it be really hard. But as you know, with CAP, if there's toes to bar in a workout, every movement has a specific warm up. And we do that every day. And our members learn the movements properly. And then they are better CrossFitters in the long run, where some gyms, they put a warm up. It's a general warm up. It's 3 rounds, do whatever. And then, okay, get your shit set up and 3, 2, 1, go. And we've never done that. And so it makes it, I guess, easier because our members here, that's all they know. But there's been lots of times where members have gone to other gyms and they're like, man, it's a shit show over there. And I didn't know where to go and everyone was running in front of me. And for me, I, have some things and I don't like chaos when I'm working out. So I think I just always think of that when my members are here working out and everyone has space and there's a flow and this is how we're going to do it. And we always do a mini round so everyone knows where they're going. And again, there's just things that I feel are very important and we're not willing to compromise or change those things.
Well, it sounds like you and John both know very explicitly what your product is. And it's not in any way coincidental in the sense that you guys knew what your product was right when it was just the two of you. And it's okay, well, we're going to practice our product and that's coaching a CrossFit class.
Yeah.
And look where it gets you, right? And so many people think their product is a CrossFit workout. It's no, a well-coached CrossFit class is your product. And if your business is struggling as an affiliate owner, a lot of times they'll look at adding something or a goal board or goal reviews. And again, it's not like those things can't be helpful, or they'll want to do a question of the day every day. Have you recorded your class and watched yourself coach? Have you seen how the members interact and engage in the class itself? Managing your product of coaching on the floor is going to be the best thing to do to inject some life into your business. Yeah.
And we also just because we're so CrossFit is everything, we right away wanted to host seminars. We hosted a level 1 last year, so some more of our members could take it. Now we're hosting a level 2, so 3 or 4 of our coaches are going to be upgrading to level 2. So then we're going to have I'm a level 2, John is. We're going to have 4 other level 2s working at our gym. So I don't know. It's just good. I just think the more people can get exposed to all things CrossFit, I feel that's part of our job here as well, is just expose them to all of it. The level 2 is uncomfortable but awesome in the same way, you're being watched and evaluated, and it's going to change all of them how they coach for the better. And so that's cool. And
what's something that, speaking of the level 2 for you, what's something that you remember as a big takeaway for you from your level 2 that it was big and meaning uncomfortable, but something that you found or pulled a lot of value out of?
I remember my very first, when I first did my, I don't know what you want to call it. I was up in front of the class and it was my turn to coach.
Sure.
I felt like I knew what I was doing, but I kind of got ripped a bit. And then by the end of it, they gave out little awards and I was most improved, over the weekend. So I was right on, I was really happy with that. I just really like systems and the CrossFit level 2 and how you break all the movements down. It's very systematic. And I think it just, for me, it provides a lot of guidance for coaches where this is how you break down the movements. And if you do it this way, for the majority of people, it works really well. So yeah, systematic approaches to everything, if you can, in life, really how it works for my brain. So yeah, that's what I took out of it, just like the systematic aspect.
Yeah, and what's funny like about that is that's the way I felt when I did the level 4 evaluation, which I
Yeah.
failed. But it was like, again, I'm in front of the class, and then instead of getting feedback in real time, you're just getting like a click of the pen, like
Oh
click, click,
man.
and like
Yeah.
writing down like, oh God, it felt so much like the level 2 all over again.
Yeah.
And then you get the form that kind of breaks things down for you, which is
Yeah.
the exact same that's in the level 2.
Yeah.
You know, the system is there, and then I've been working with a mentor, and guess what we've been going back to? The
Yeah.
same systems from the level 2, right? Like, so
Yeah.
it's all like there for you to progress.
Yeah. I know I need to do my, or I want to do my level 3, but I'm not very good at like written exams. I just am not good at sitting in a room for long periods, and just like reading. So I'm going to have to really focus on that. Like, I'd like to get my level 3. Obviously I want to keep like moving forward, but
Sure.
the level 3 for me is intimidating because it's just a written academic exam where I'm just like, oh man, sitting in a room, like answering, reading, and it's just, that's hard for me.
You know, but again, like if we think of the methodology, like what you don't want to see come out of the hopper is probably the thing you need to work on.
100%. Yeah, I know. You're right. I know. Yeah, I will do it.
And so, you know, like it sounds like you and John are very systems oriented. Like, so the open is coming up.
Yep.
It's a big deal, but it's only 3 weeks. What's something that you guys are like, have talked about how you're gonna, do you have something specific that you ride out of the open with, or is it like, we just keep delivering on what we deliver and the results come?
So like for the open, we have a system in place as to how we're going to run that. We hope that it's going to be successful. Every year we have to kind of build on the year before, and this year where there's probably going to be more, we have to be more, I don't know what the word is, like, this is how we're doing it. There's not going to be a bunch of exceptions made for people needing to get their workouts done at the last minute, all that. Like, these are when we're offering the times. Otherwise it just becomes like a lot on us, and the coaches sometimes. And then after the open, it's just going to be, I mean, quarters are like back now in more of a big way. So there could be some people, I'll be doing them. There'll be people in our gym doing them. So we'll be moving forward with that. And yeah, we're just going to keep, like, we just want to keep growing and moving forward, and in whatever and however that looks. Eventually we're going to outgrow this space. And so we're always kind of in the back of our minds looking for new space maybe. And I don't know, we just kind of always have our eyes looking around and looking forward, and just with the goal of like, so the other thing that I should say is like, the CrossFit gym that we own, like, this isn't either of our source of income. Like, the gym doesn't lose money or anything, but we're not, needing it to live. Like, I work full time still, John's retired. So that also like allows us to stay super true to our passion and our vision, rather than feeling like, oh my God, like we need like members and leads and to like make money. Like, again, the goal is to make money, but it's not like the be all and end all. So, I mean, our goal is always, I believe, like, to grow, but the intent isn't to grow for like the purposes of like money making. For me, the intent to grow is like for the purposes of changing more lives, and like being a more like bigger unit within our community. Like, who knows, like maybe our next space will have room for practitioners or like other things. Like, our next space, I would love to have my apartment attached to it, so I could just walk in here instead of having to go back and forth. Like, so we always have sort of our eyes open to like the next thing, but it's not with like, again, it's like always with like these pure intentions of like just changing more lives and making the community better. Like, and I've said this before, like, I was a police officer, and all the reasons why I wanted to become a police officer were all very like genuine. I wanted to make a difference in the community and help people and change lives. And when you work for a gigantic government organization, you learn very quickly that like it's not really the case. Like, yes, I'm sure I helped people in my career as a police officer, but like all of the things that I really wanted to get out of policing, I'm actually getting them out of owning this affiliate. So it's kind of cool that way. And I didn't really realize that when I bought the affiliate, but it's kind of a cool way to think of it now.
Yeah, you get to build that, like, the foundation on purpose and impact.
Yeah.
But it's cool that you guys both recognize that it doesn't need to be either of yours main source of income.
Yeah.
But I've also seen that go the opposite direction, where people say, like, because they still have an income, it doesn't need to make money, or they don't need the systems, or it doesn't need to do these things, because then it's okay if I got to put a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there in. It's like, no, there can be a sweet spot, like, where you know, as you said, like, you guys can run 3-4 classes a day, serve 100 people, good to go. If you get to 120 or 130 by this time next year, that's great. But it's not like we have to get there. Or I guess if I'm hearing it right, you're not going to sacrifice any of the things that work just to hit that number either.
And also, like, we're a little bit in this, like, I would say, and maybe I'll always feel this way, I don't know, but I feel like right now we're in this, like, not weird, but we're in like a zone where we're growing to the point where, like, we probably soon need like some actual or an actual employee. Like right now it's just John and I, and then we have coaches, but they're not like employees. Like they coach for money or like a membership or like a combination thereof. But we're getting to the point where like our classes are really full. We probably need to add more, but like we can't really do any more because of our other responsibilities, and the coaches are all like, I'll use the term hobby coaches. They're very invested, but they have full-time jobs and lives too. So I feel like the next step maybe would be kind of like taking that leap into like, okay, maybe we need to have like an employee, but that's a huge chunk of money. So it's just like, I think that's kind of our next sort of level.
Yeah, and those are just the challenges of business ownership from there. So as we mentioned, again, you are still a CrossFit Games competitor who has aspirations to make it back, and you know, so it is cool I believe you've earned the right to say like, I'll be doing quarterfinals, versus for me, I'm like, if I can hold, you know, my food down, then hopefully I'll get there. So just to wrap things up, and what's interesting is you're a CAP follower as well. You saw we've been doing main site stuff for the past month, and you're a student of the game. Do you have any predictions for what you think this open will be? Any type, anything from there? What's the patterns or the trends telling you?
I have no idea. Like, I consume a lot of CrossFit content, and a lot of CrossFit content is just people speculating and trying to figure out Dave Castro's brain, which, like, he's way too smart to let anyone know anything that's going to happen. I feel like maybe, I don't know why I think this, but I feel like there could be burpees over the rower, and I don't know why I think that. I heard someone else mention it, and I'm like, oh, that could make sense. He did say that there's going to be a movement in the Open this year that hasn't been in the Open before. So, I mean, there might, but not a new CrossFit movement.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
What comes to mind when you say that?
I don't know. I really don't. It could be burpees over the rower.
Okay. I said a coach and I were talking about this. We both said kettlebell swings. And I said, I don't know what.
Yeah, but they're really hard to judge, man. Yeah, so I don't know. I always hate like the 20, like I always hate the first workout, like where it's like one dumbbell and burpees. Like I'm not that kind of athlete. Like I need skill and I need it to be a little heavy. Like I do fine at those workouts, but it's not like.
You hate it because you have to. You hate it for the reason why I love those workouts. Because I was like, this is great. I can cruise, I can pace, I can go. I don't have anything on the line. For
Yeah.
someone who has like a performance on the line, who potentially has to do it twice or 3 times.
I hate it. And then I hate all these like little girls who like can't lift super heavy, and then I look at the leaderboard and they're all beating me, and I'm just like, I'm so competitive. So I normally don't really enjoy the first workout of the Open as an athlete. I always really enjoy it as an affiliate owner, because it's always something that really boosts people's confidence. Like they come in and they're like so nervous, and then they all just can crush it because it's, you know, a dumbbell and some lunges and some burpees. Like everyone can do those movements, which I think is super important. So it's great for that, but like I always hate it and die.
And that's what's cool about like the dichotomy of CrossFit is you know, we're a lot like you guys. Like we want to talk about the goal or the stimulus of a workout, and I always start planting these seeds now. It's like, hey, if we can safely do the thing, we're gonna throw the stimulus out the window, because there's no stimulus in the Open. If you can safely check that RX box, and that's what you're going to go for. And you can't pigeonhole yourself down one thing, because then you're limiting your members' growth.
We're excited. We get really excited about like making the gym look cool for the Open. Like last year when it was the one with the 25.1 with like the dumbbell, and then it was like some lunges, and like we had it all done up with like lines so they knew where to lunge, and like we like to make them feel like it's different than just a normal class, and they all come in and it's just a little different. And so that's the part of it that like we really like, and it's cool because like John and I were very different people, but we really like this, we have the same like visions always, just by accident. We just both really like making the event itself awesome, all events, but so the Open, like for us, that's a big part of it.
No, that's great. And I mean, it's no surprise that you guys are currently, again, as we said, I can refresh before we hit end.
Yeah, do it.
You guys are still
over there refreshing.
Carrie Ann, I don't think she was bullying her people this morning to still at 72 and still well ahead of
72. He just refreshed it.
Of everyone else. But again, it's like the secrets of success. It's not a secret. You guys do the thing really well. You push the signups, you play the game, and you get the results from it. So kudos to you guys for that.
Thank you. We love it. I do. John just like goes along with it. No, he loves it too. He won't come on the camera, even though I want him to.
That'll be next year's podcast. We'll get John.
Next year, John's coming on.
The sequel from there. And on that note, 3, 2, 1, time.